Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, before I get into today's topic of discussion, there's a Call of Cthulhu bundle over at Humble Bundles. I have a shortened link for you, an easy one to remember. Tenkars-tavern.game/COC. Bundle starts at $5. That will include the Call of Cthulhu starter set. But it's just I had some of the stuff already, including the core books and the starter set and one of the solos, and I was like $25. I'm all in. Call of Cthulhu really is a great game, and if you want to bring somebody into gaming with a non-standard type of RPG, it's a great way to do it, and the solos are really good. So, that being said, why are we talking gatekeeping? Why do we have this obnoxious fellow up on? He looks like a cross between a constipated cop and, I don't know, organized crime. Hey, maybe he is. So, this whole discussion that happened about this Capricorn panel and too many old white grognards, males, straight, in the OSR has led to a number of people in the comments say we need more gatekeeping. We need to. That's why we need gatekeeping, and that doesn't work. And I'm going to explain to you why gatekeeping in a community like the OSR doesn't work. It doesn't have a leadership. Okay, it's not like there's one individual who will approve or disapprove your membership. Membership is self-designated, right? I mean, if you say that, hey, you are a fan of the OSR, then you're a fan of the OSR. Nobody can say, oh, you're not real. You don't belong. You can say you don't belong here. Individual groups can certainly gatekeep. Little fiefdoms in the OSR can most certainly gatekeep. They can keep people out based upon any reason they want, because that is a controlled environment. The smaller the group, the easier it is to gatekeep. Again, the OSR has no leadership. It has a lot of fiefdoms. It has a lot of flags to rally around. And you certainly have people in influential positions, but there's no leader. There's no leadership. There's no board. There's no checklist or what. Yeah, there's no ability to gatekeep. Again, you can gatekeep with your group. You can gatekeep maybe in your community within the OSR, but the OSR at large is too large, and it's small compared to the D&D community for 5e or the community for RPGs at large. But we've seen how different factions form within the OSR, right? We see people forming these factions either because, in my case, right, my community wants no politics to be discussed in it. Others are all about their politics being discussed in it. That doesn't make them any less OSR. Maybe not be part of the community that I want to frequent, but it doesn't make them less OSR. So get rid of this idea of gatekeeping. What we should be thinking about is how to become better ambassadors overall. And it does not mean that you have to change the makeup of your gaming group. I'm just saying, when you participate in social media, try not to be an asshole. And I know for some people it's second nature. I understand that. I'm a New Yorker. Okay? Born and bred. But try not to necessarily get your internet muscles on, and try to listen to people who have an interest in the OSR and may have questions. And I'm not saying you have to listen to questions if the questions are political in nature or social issue in nature. Those aren't about gaming. But if people have questions about like, hey, how does soccer work? Um, did anybody else have that combat wheel back in the early days that you could cut out of Dragon magazine? I did. I lost it decades ago. Man, I used the shit out of that. What's the difference between OSC and Labyrinth Lord and Dragon Slayer? It's Castles and Crusades, uh, OSR, Proto OSR. I kind of consider it like the missing link between D&D and what became the OSR is Castles and Crusades. It's got like 1 foot in 3E and 1 foot in the OSR. But that's my opinion. Okay? That's the other thing that's great about the OSR is that not one person's opinion is right. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an asshole. Sometimes those opinions are assholes. Try not to be that asshole. Try, like I said, to be more of an ambassador and less of a gatekeeper. You can't gatekeep. And you're not going to gatekeep for the OSR. It's the OSR is more porous than our southern border here in the United States. So if we can't control our southern border, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to keep people out of the OSR. Give it up. Give it up. If that's your attitude, give it up. Now, I can't say again, your group, your social group, your gaming group can certainly say, we're not letting anybody in. That's your privilege. Nobody says you have to. But the OSR is not under that kind of control. It never has been. Think about those that remember. I'm gonna throw something out there. Targa. I can't remember what Targa stood for, but what Targa resented in well not resented. What Targa basically became was a burning of his own house down because Targa was, for all intents and purposes, an attempt to put definitions, restrictions, and organization or hierarchy in control of the OSR. And the OSR doesn't need that, doesn't require that, has never wanted it. It has people from across the political spectrum, it has people from across the gender spectrum, all different colors and creeds. It's a very open community, but within it, there can be closed communities. That's what it is. That's life. And if there's a community that is closed off to you within the OSR, you know what? They're probably people you wouldn't want to be gaming with anyway. You're not going to change their opinions. They're not going to change yours. So find a group that aligns with your opinions. But the OSR encompasses all that and more. It's like I said, try to be more of an ambassador. Gatekeeping isn't going to work. On that note, folks, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back again tonight at 8 p.m. My wife and myself, Rach and I, Gamers Health. That's every Saturday night. And then some more video tomorrow. All right, folks. Thank you. God bless. Oh, like, subscribe. You know the dilly.